All right, let's go. I got somewhere to be.
All right, let's do it. All right. In five, four, three, two, one. Hey, yo, welcome to the Boston Sports Brothers podcast. Great to be with the full squad tonight. But more importantly, we have a fantastic guest. It is Brandon Meriweather, former Patriot. And fellas, how's everyone doing tonight? Great to see everybody.
Doing
Doing
well, doing well.
well.
Good to see
Going on?
everybody.
All right. Well, as I said, the guest of honor is Brandon Meriweather. We appreciate him taking some time tonight. We wanted to bring Brandon on. Brandon, you got two upcoming events to benefit your foundation, the 31 Ways Foundation, and you're down in Florida now. Some golf going on, some great guests that you have that I saw in the lineup. A little call back to the Catholics versus Convicts with Coach Lou Holtz as well with one of them. So give us a lowdown on what's coming up on each of those, and then each of the fellows here have a question for you related to your career time up here in Boston, and we'll wrap things up. We appreciate your time.
What's up, y'all, man? First off, can y'all all stop talking at once, man? So to keep saying something, y'all just all start talking at once. So, but other than that, man, I have two golf tournaments coming up. One on June 27th in Orlando at Eagle Creek. And I have one August 29th in Miami, at Grand Shore, Country Club. So both of them should be, star-studded. I got a bunch of people lined up. For the one in Miami, I got Tim Brown, Lou Holtz. I'm trying to get Jimmy Johnson to come. I'm trying to get Mike to come. We're still talking to Mike. But I got a bunch of people coming to that one. The one in Orlando, I got Jalen Carter. I got Ike Taylor, Nick Collins. Man, I got a bunch of people coming to that one, man. So, if y'all want to come, let me know. I'll be around.
Oh yeah, sounds like a great time. You a big golf guy, Brandon? You hitting the links out there?
I am now, to be honest with you, man. I just started playing about 2 years ago. August of 2 years ago, and I actually now I'm a big golf guy.
Love it.
Brandon, you mentioned trying to get Mike Vrabel there. How you feeling about the team and his coaching abilities this upcoming season?
I ain't mentioned Mike Vrabel name at all.
Oh, I thought. Well, he said
No,
Mike,
no, I
so
didn't. I said Mike. I'm talking about Mike Irvin, bro. Why would I
Ah.
need Mike Vrabel there? Mike Vrabel didn't go to Miami.
No, he did not.
What about
No,
Big
he.
Vince, though? Big Vince did.
Yeah. Vince coming. Vince gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
Vince
Oh,
playing with me.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vince will be there. Yeah, you trying to jump right into the Patriots new job. I see what you're doing, dog. I get it. I understand I'm only here for 15 minutes, dog. I get it, but take your time.
you said you got somewhere to be, so we
I
want
do.
to.
Listen, man, I'm on vacation right now, man. If I could show y'all, man, I'm at my hotel on the beach,
Oh,
Oh, hell
man.
yeah.
baby.
So I get it. I get it. So I'm with y'all. I'm here. I'm here for 15 minutes, man. We can take our time.
All right. We love it. In terms of the golf tournament, then let's talk a little bit more about that. You're on social media with it. Where can folks register? And like, obviously, I think you have stuff for individuals that want to attend and play. But what about companies and sponsors and folks that on that and anything going on with them?
Honestly, man, I need all the sponsors I could get. But they could go to my foundation website and it take you right there. It's Brandon Meriweather 31 Ways Foundation.org. Is it .net or .org? It's one of them motherfuckers, man. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, y'all can cuss on here.
You can
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. You can
You're,
say
you're
whatever
fine.
you
Whatever
want.
you want.
But yeah, that's the one. You could go there and you could be a sponsor. You could be a player. You could donate. You could do whatever you like, man. So that's where everything going through right now.
Awesome. Well, ourselves definitely look forward to that. Last year, you were one of the first pro athletes we worked with, and we supported that I believe back to school drive that you had up this way in Brockton. How did that event go? And then we do want to talk some Patriots as well, so I'll let the other guys
Yeah,
chime in.
no. I'm okay. I'm okay with talking about anything. I was just saying how he tried to make me talk about Mike Vrabel when I wasn't talking about Mike Vrabel. I was talking about Mike Irvin. But I get it though. No, that event went great, man. Thank y'all a lot for that, man. And I think y'all helped me with my toy drive too. I mean the turkey drive up there too that I was doing with the Brockton Rocks socks. So y'all been helping me a lot, man. I appreciate it. I'm actually trying to do a golf tournament up there. Um, I'm trying to find a foundation up there that it could benefit my foundation here and a foundation up there so that everybody who comes could benefit. It'll benefit both. So I don't want to just do something up there to benefit down here. I want to actually do something up there that's going to benefit kids up there too.
Amazing. Love it. Love it. Well, we're here for you. We'll be here to help promote anything you got going on, whether it's down there or up here. And if it's up here, fellas, we should tap into the real life network of people, see how we might be able to help Brandon
Definitely.
out.
Definitely.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
For
All
sure.
right. Gabe, I'm handing it back to you, buddy. Let's see if we can go down some other roads here.
Yeah. So, want to talk Patriots still? How you feeling about this year's team? Now that the dust has settled through free agency and the draft, any players that we should be looking out for here?
To be honest with you, man, I really don't pay attention too much of the team until around August, because there's so many moving parts. You know what I mean? Like the good thing is they spending money now. You know what I mean? Last year they didn't spend any money. The year before that they really weren't spending any money. So this year I'm happy that they actually spending money. They bringing in players. They bringing in coaches. They actually doing things that they should have been doing for years.
Absolutely.
Brandon,
Go for it.
Big E here. You've had a prolific career, high school, college, and obviously the pros. Obviously, we're partial to your time with the Patriots. But I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite moment from your career? Favorite game, favorite play? Can be high school, college, or pro.
Uh oh boy, that's a hard one. I have 1,000 of them, man. I think my favorite play might have been the hit on what's his name, McKelvin. I think it was my second year in the league when we were playing against Buffalo, and they was up by like 14 with like 2 minutes to go, and they dumbass decided to run the ball out after we kicked it off, and I hit McKelvin and made him fumble, and we got the ball back right there, and we ended up winning that game. I think that might have been my favorite moment in the NFL.
It was a hell of a game.
Yeah, it was. It
Look at
was.
that.
I still remember that game to the day.
We're gonna find that clip and put that in the social clip and relive the glory days for sure.
Yeah, hey, let me know. Tag me in it. Collab me with
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm all
Hell
in.
yeah.
Lit his ass up.
Brandon, what's your take on like the new NFL? Like they're trying to take some of those hits out of the game, and I know that was like a big staple of your career, like Big Bang Clock. So like, what's your take on that? I mean, that was like a staple of you.
Uh, Honestly, man, I kind of have two takes on it. On one, I understand why they doing it. You know what I mean? I do. I understand why they doing it. Now, me personally, I personally would never play like that. Like I think when you play like that, you think too much, and then when you think too much, you end up getting hurt. And I think that that's part of the reason, I had to stop because I couldn't play fast and do all the things that I do and be aggressive because I think the rules of the game took the best part of me out of the game. And then everybody calling me a dirty player for doing something that I've been doing all my life, that I was getting praised for, that I won the first round for. I'm getting criticized for doing the exact same thing. So then after that, on the part where I'm saying, I think they killing the game too. Like I understand why they doing it, and I understand why they should do it, and I understand that the more points scored, the better the views will be. But I also think it's a lot of people who look at football because it's a gladiator sport. The best of the best gonna be there. Now you turn it into flag football, so therefore you kind of killing the gladiator part of it and make it more of a the best skill guys gonna be there. So now you taking out the guys like who's not gonna run fast or jump hard, but they got the biggest heart. You kind of taking them guys out of it.
Awesome points. I agree. I think, the not to say that the leagues come soft because you still got to have man up and play football, but it's a different game now. And many of the hits, that we love seeing you make, the likes of Rodney Harrison, Ed Reed, all the prolific safeties, where I think, as you said, like it's a reactionary sport. You're just trying to drive to the ball and where it's at and make a play without sort of thinking like, am I going for the right part of the body? It's like, no, I'm laying my fucking body on the line to try and stop the guy from getting the first down marker or touchdown. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to continue to change, unfortunately, but well, those plays, excuse me, live in infamy. It was definitely a fantastic era of football. Who's got the next one, fellas? J-Man, want to dive
Yeah,
into that second part?
yeah. So I know you had you had a storied career up here in New England, and you had a great time. And after your career here, you still kept in touch with a lot of the foundations that you've been doing, playing part with. But what about Toucher and Rich? I know you were on their show on the mornings. What was your time like with them? And I loved hearing you as a fan, listening to you every morning. Some of the most memorable drives to work. So just thank you for that. And yeah, what was your time like with them?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I love them guys, man. Honestly, I'm mad that they separated. Like that, I actually love waking up in the morning doing them radio shows with them. I actually thought about calling the station and telling them, man, put me back on, man. I'm gonna do it. I want to go do it again, see if we could work out something so where I could get back on it. Because to be honest with you, man, that was kind of some of the funnest times I had. And the fact that I be up there so often, it's kind of like I should be doing something up there that at least I could be up there for a reason.
I mean,
So
you're a household name up here still. People still
listen,
know who
man,
you are.
I told them a long time ago, man, they need to just give me a job up there, man, and let me go on and be there every day for for a little bit. Just give me a job up there. I mean, let me come up there during football season a couple days out of the week. I'll do it. I'll be there.
Hey,
I mean, shit, they got everybody else on the damn radio. Might as well have you where you know you
Right,
most
at least
entertaining.
right, at least have somebody that's funny with charisma. God damn.
Hell yeah. It's been too long since I've heard Walldick, where you at?
Right, man. Matter of fact, have any of y'all even seen Walldick or heard from him?
oh, he's
Is he
still
still
on.
on the radio?
Oh
He's
yeah,
still
He's
on.
still-
He's still with Fred.
oh yeah.
Oh, he's still with Fred?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
going
So
strong.
Fred
what's
kept him
going
in the
on with
divorce.
Rich? What's going on with Rich?
We don't know.
Rich moved to a new show on a station here, and it unfortunately didn't last long for him. He had a couple other guys join him, but he's kind of doing his own thing now. He hasn't really come out. I don't think he's doing any shows or whatnot. May have a podcast coming soon, but unfortunately, that's the radio business, man. Like shit's always moving around. It's contracts, it's management, it's like it sucks because that show was unbelievably entertaining, and they had a good thing going. So it was a shitty breakup for sure.
Yeah, man, they should have never let that happen, man. But I understand. You know what I mean? Rich was professional winning. Fred was kind of like the dickhead entertainer. Like it was perfect. It was perfect with them together. I haven't heard anything since I left. I just heard that they broke up. So I need to call Fred and see what's going on because I'm sure Fred he's still doing his same thing, right?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure he'd love to have you back on.
He's doing the same thing on the radio. He's the same guy. He
Oh,
hasn't changed.
they still doing it in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's still the same banter, same bullshit. Oh yeah.
He
All
may
right,
hear
perfect.
this and give you a call.
I'm gonna call up there. I'm gonna call up there Wednesday and just to fuck up and see if I could tell them they need to bring me back, man. I'm tired of all this stupid shit that they keep playing up there, man.
All right,
Hell yeah.
sounds like Wednesday morning. Toucher and now Hardy with Walldick is a must tune in here.
It's
So
I'll be
Touchdown
listening.
Hardy. Who is Hardy?
Hardy was on the show with Zolak in the midday, and then he moved to the morning when Rich left.
Is he funny?
Yeah, he's good.
He's hilarious.
Hardy's good. Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Good person.
All right.
Good guy.
He's
So
a
they
golf guy
they got a
too.
good thing going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hardy's
Oh, yeah.
Hardy's big golf guy, hosts his own golf show too. So there's some alignment there. You could with a golf tournament up here, he's a good guy to be in touch with for sure.
All right, perfect. I appreciate y'all guys, man.
Look at this fucking networking going on here. Who knew we were gonna have all this happening here? All right, let's get back to some things football related. Kraz, you got one teed up here.
Yeah, definitely. So my question is obviously, with your time in New England, you played with Tom Brady. You didn't play on the same side of the ball as him, but still on the team. In practices, did he did he expect that same excellence out of his offensive players, out of you guys, or did you guys have your own internal motivation to kind of get yourself going in practice?
No, we had our own motivation. Anytime you're playing against, a Hall of Famer or great, even if it's practice, he kind of make you want to do better and make you want to play better. So, he didn't need to motivate us because we wanted to go out there and make him look bad, to show him that, you put your pants on just like us. So we went out there to do our best against him every time. It was never a time where we were just like, man, we don't feel like going because, Tom gonna make you look bad. And plus, he had some of the best receivers in the game at the time. He had Randy Moss. He had West. You know what I mean? Elderman. Like, yeah, of course. Anytime you went out there, you had to build your best, or you're gonna get embarrassed.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were so fortunate from a fan standpoint to literally grow up, as kids with the first sort of era, the dynasty, your era, and then the second part. It's I think all of us are a little sad in terms of how it all came crashing down at the end with Tom going to Tampa and Bill sort of holding his ground. What was it like being a defensive player under Belichick? And any comments that you have on his recent flings and things going on in life at UNC now, if you have any insight there.
It was great. It was great playing for Bill, man. Bill was amazing, man. To be honest with you, Bill was great for me. For me, Bill was great, should I say? But his new thing, I really don't know too much about it, because everything I hear is he say, she say. So I really don't try to pay attention to anything like that. I need to see what happened myself before I could go and make an opinion on something that I have no idea about.
Fair, very fair. Yeah, I mean, he certainly seemed up here when he was in charge to be running the ship the right way. Fellas, any final questions you want to ask Brandon here while we got him? The floor is open before we transition into some other things.
Hey,
Yeah.
Eric, you look like you got some shit on your mind. Go and get it off.
Yeah, no, I was just curious about like what you're thinking about the upcoming season for the U.
Honestly, I think with the D coordinator they got, I think if they would have had him last year, I think we'd have won the ship. I think this year, I think it'll be pretty much the same. I just don't think Carson Beck can produce the magic that Cam Ward did. So I don't think our offense will be as good, but I think our defense will be better than it was last year, a lot better than it was last year. So
Making playoffs?
instead of us scoring 42 points and losing, I think this year, if we score 28 points, I think we'll win. So I think we got a 10-2 season with us being in the playoffs.
Love it.
The U, baby. It's coming soon. I mean, it's already June here, so it's
I
not
know
too
we're
far
gonna be.
off.
I know we'll beat the shit out of Boston College.
Oh,
That's
no
a good-
surprises there.
Yeah.
You guys will be
Please.
kicking their ass.
They
At least
fucking will.
they were fool's gold last year. They got off to that hot start and then
Yeah,
just
they did. When they beat Florida State, I thought they was on the run.
I mean, you got former OC Bill O'Brien coaching there now. He's trying to
He's
get them
legit.
back to respectability. I mean, they've
The-
been a
The problem Bill gonna have is it's so hard to get a bunch of athletes to go there at once. That's the problem he got. Like he gonna be able to get football players. He gonna get one or two every now and then, but it's gonna be hard for him to get a bunch enough to where he could win consistently.
Yeah, I hear you. And Brandon, like, what's your take on the NIL? How much money could you have made in college?
Oh my God, I wish. Honestly, man, I love the NIL, man. I'm so happy for these players, these kids, man, because honestly, the NCAA was exploiting us for years, and now we actually get some get back. I wish they just did the back pay and sent us some money just because, that would have been great. But yeah, I'm happy for these kids, man. And honestly, I think I probably would have made a couple mil out of there, though. I was a big name in college, so I'm sure I would have made a couple mil.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
your
now,
entire team.
that
Your entire
charisma,
team.
Yeah, you're right. My entire team would have made some. They would have had. Listen, we would have had an NFL roster for sure.
I mean, you guys were pretty close as it was.
Say that again.
You guys were pretty close to having an NFL roster. Like, if you guys had matched up against an NFL team while you guys were at the U, you guys would have made it a game for sure.
For sure. No, for sure. If you would have took the 2000 Miami team and put them on and when all of them was pros, put them on the same team, I think they would have competed they would have probably made the Super Bowl. I don't know if we would have won it completely, but would have had to get another quarterback because Dorsey's arm wasn't strong enough to be good in the NFL. But I think we would have definitely been if you'd have picked any team from 2000, from 99, 98, 99 to 04, I think that team would have been good enough to win in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean the U, baby. It's a legendary program. What's your relationship with the team now? Like, are you still involved going to practices in the area, or more so just watching as a alumni and fan?
No, honestly, man, I just watch as more of a fan. I go down there every now and then just to show my face and to keep good, but I'm really not around as much because I live in Orlando and I got my kids now, and it's more like I'm raising them to be men. Then I am trying to go to every Miami practice and game, but I'm gonna go down there for a lot of games this year. Because I want to take my boys so they could start seeing and becoming fans of a real university.
Love it. What's your like day-to-day look like these days? Are you doing any sort of, I know you had some endeavors when you used to tell Toucher and Rich about some restaurants and whatnot, but you still doing any of that? Or
no, man, I sold all my restaurants. I still have my rental properties. But right now, man, I'm actually getting bored and looking for something to do to get into so I could, start back, traveling. That's more of what I'm trying to do now.
all right. Well, I mean, I think this conversation is hopefully a gateway to some good things, bring you back to this area. Happy to help. We'll hopefully get some connections rolling here. As Brandon said at the top of the episode, he's on vacation, so we're going to let him get back to his vacation. We'll close out with this, Brandon. Where can people find you on social media? Certainly give you a follow and learn more about everything we talked about at the top in terms of the upcoming events.
You can find me on Facebook under my name, Brandon Meriweather. It's about 10 pages, though, to be honest with you, and I have no idea why it's so many. But mine,
burner accounts.
I don't know how you find. I don't know which one is actually mine off of that, but because I'm really not on Facebook like that, but I do have a Facebook page. But you can find me on IG with Meriweather31. That is me. And you can also find me. Oh, I ain't got no Snapchat or none of that no more. So them about the only two.
Fair enough. All right, Brandon, we really appreciate your time. We'll be cutting some clips and getting this episode out. Hopefully tomorrow night. I'll get this one rolling quickly, especially if you're going to be on if you're planning to call in Wednesday morning.
We'll be listening.
We'll be
I,
tuned
Oh
in.
yeah.
I am. I'm gonna call in Wednesday morning. I'm gonna call in just so I can talk shit.
I just want to hear that. Walldick, what's up, buddy?
All right, y'all, man. I gotta get up out of here, man. Y'all be
Appreciate you.
good.
Take
All
care.
right.
Thanks
See
for
you,
hopping
Brandon.
on, man.
Thanks, Brandon.
Peace.
Later, man.
Wow,
Wow.
unbelievable. First
That was
player
awesome.
interview. That was like one of the most awesome things. We worked with him for a while, more so digitally, but awesome to have him jump on. Big thank you to him. Check out all the events. Fellas, any recap from that? I mean, that was awesome.
That was incredible. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's very down to earth. That he would have made a lot of money in college in the NIL. Like
I think we need to get
100%.
him back on radio.
And
Hell
he's
yeah.
he's 100% right about being called a dirty player and all that stuff because there were a couple of tackles where I mean they weren't at all, and it's exactly how he says it. It's how he plays. Like
Yeah, but
it's
and you got to remember when Brandon was coming up, not just even in like when he was in high, I think before he was even in high school, it was all about like getting jacked up. Like that was the
That's
way
what
he
I
was
mean.
coached up as a player.
Yeah.
So like, he's
that's how he knows how to play.
yeah, he's such a throwback to like an era that we all love the football that we wish would come back. And like he said, he understands why it's moving away, which I think we all do. Doesn't change the fact that we still miss it.
NFL Blitz, baby.
I was just
Yeah,
about to
he
say like
was
NFL
that.
Blitz,
Yeah.
pick up a motherfucker.
They were gladiators.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at the very least, he's got a spot here to talk football with us whenever the fuck he wants. So
Yeah,
hell yeah.
yeah.
open line for Brandon
If-
Meriweather.
If you're a local sports radio or TV show, you got to get him as an analyst right now.
That
I
also,
mean,
I
also,
agree.
This
He's
is
the
a
perfect
true.
guy for
I'm gonna
that.
make this a true call right now because somebody out there undoubtedly wants to sponsor Brandon Meriweather talking football, and there's no better place than to do it right here with us. So if you want to be the presenting sponsor of the Boston Sports Brothers podcast, get some money in Brandon Meriweather's pocket. Hell, we don't even need the money. It can all go to Brandon. We just want somebody to work with us. We have a good time doing this. Maybe you want to pay us, we'll take the money though, just for real. But anyways, right here. Hopefully he gets on the radio. Certainly we're not at that level, but completely agree, J Matt. He's too good of a personality and obviously knows ball
Hell yeah.
too well.
And a
too.
great dude.
Yeah, great dude.
Yeah, and
Uh,
more so philanthropic, which is huge up here.
Yeah.
I know, at least for the three of us, Gabe, Josh, we did a lot with API. So, and I'm sure Matulski, you did a lot with your fraternity as well,
oh yeah.
as far as philanthropic work. So, any chance to help out the local community is something that we're all going to kind of jump at. So, that was cool.
Absolutely. That was
Really
great. All right. That'll be the first part of this episode, but we got a lot of other stuff we got to dive into.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So breaking news last
Crazy.
night after the Red Sox sweep
He's
the
the screaming
Yankees.
goat. The screaming
and-
goat.
And Devers just where did he go, Gabe?
He shipped out west.
Sure
The
did.
San
Out
Francisco
west.
Giants.
All right, Kraz sort of set the table for us here. I think certainly give your takes, but almost like the draft, fellas, because this is such a huge trade. After Kraz gives opening takes and sets the table, sort of 60 seconds for each of us to just go around and what our individual thoughts were after one of the most shocking trades in Boston history, shall we say? But Kraz, take it away.
Yeah. I think it was a shock to us because it kind of just happened. But I don't think it's a shock to anyone within the Red Sox organization. I think they've been planning on this for months now. It's been 2 or 3 years that he's had issues with the front office, and I think there's just been malcontent ever since. He had made comments 2 years previously, and I think that kind of set the tone for where we're at now. So I am not surprised at all that he's gone. We've talked about it before. It would make absolutely zero sense to try and ship him during spring training because of all of the issues that were going on around him. So I can see why they at least waited till he's as hot as he was to try and finally make that deal come to an end. And lastly, the biggest thing is you got to understand something. And this is why it doesn't surprise me at all. San Francisco has been trying to get a big bat for the last 2 off seasons. They were all in on Judge. It was down to 3 teams, and San Francisco was one of them. And San Francisco was also one of the teams to be all in on Soto. So they swung and missed twice on 2 big bats, and they weren't going to miss out on this one. And to be honest, boys, the signing was the rush shining because of the fan base, and rightfully so. We were pissed, but it wasn't the right signing at the right time, and unfortunately, it kind of blew up in our face. So yeah, I'm gonna hear your guys' opinions now.
I'll
Yeah.
take my 60 seconds. So, Krez, I agree with you. He was disgruntled. He was the problem. The only thing that I thought was very questionable with this front office, which has been a debacle for years now, is the timing of the trade. Why would you trade the guy right now when you can trade him after the All-Star break, get a little bit closer to the trade deadline, kind of maybe win a few more games because newsflash, the Red Sox have actually been playing some good baseball. They've been winning a lot of games, 3-2, 2-1, 4-3, one-run games. They have not been scoring more than 5 runs to be winning the last 5 games that they've won, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. That being said, so I think the timing of the trade is super suspect. I know that there's rumors that Devers was pushing for a trade, but still, if he's been a malcontent and you're actually playing the best ball this season, I would have stuck with him at least for a few more weeks, see what you can get out of him, and then maybe you can even get a little bit more value if you have put him on the market and see if other teams want to take a stab at him. So I just think it was a little too quick on them and maybe not have shopped him. But again, I'm not in the front office, but I think the front office of the Red Sox has been a complete debacle for years now.
And Gabe
Yeah.
and I have been talking. We were texting earlier, and you know, there's a difference between ownership and management here, and it's clear that there's a big difference. Gabe and I were texting. We were like, Craig Breslow, he's a champion, and I mean, Sam Kennedy obviously hasn't played baseball, but Craig wants to win. He's now a business guy. Management staff, Cora, Veritek, Bailey, these guys all won rings, and ownership, like Gabe was saying, and I'm gonna let Gabe into it, is pooling money elsewhere. And that's where I think, again, it comes to that illusion of contentment. It's like, let's look really good on paper and then potentially be okay and go for a run in June, July, and fill the seats and sell some tickets. And now it's just gotten to the point where it's for me at least, yeah, it's clearly ownership, and they got to go. It should be the Sox selling the team, not the Celtics.
Jumping
Yeah.
in.
Well, J-Matt mentioned it, the timing is very suspect. Right after they sweep the Yankees, there's a little good juju going for Red Sox fans. We're starting to feel some good vibes. We're game over 500. And then that just comes out of the blue I mean, I think the word of the trade would be shocked. We've said it a few times now, and I'm not shocked that Raffy Devers got traded. I'm shocked in the manner that they did it. I'm shocked for the return they got in the trade. I mean, I heard John Henry ex-nayed another trade that involved them taking some percentage of the contract back. It seemed like, yeah, I mean, it's just very
Penalty
cheap.
box.
No
It's-
ice cream for you, John.
Penalty
So
box.
frustrating. It's like we could be talking about a potential like really good prospect coming in if you just ate 25% of that contract, and now we're looking at two players that are kind of like cusp of roster. We have one guy who is already down in AAA who could potentially be like slotted into a fourth starting role
Kyle Wilson,
in the
yeah.
pitching staff. And they've got a few prospects that may come to fruition, may not, but it's not looking too promising so far in their early careers. So yeah, shock. Not that Raffy Devers got traded, just in the nature that it was done. It just seemed a little out of the blue.
So I understand that, and I get that completely, and it brings me back again to, it makes me think even more that this has been a plan, and they maybe tried to ship him in the off season, and just it didn't come out, and we didn't hear about it, because there's no way that you make those moves and pull off a move like that and move 300 million and everyone say okay. Not only both teams say okay, but then you also have the MLB PA say okay as well, and the MLB front office. So multiple people have to say okay to this. So this trade they've been working on this for months and months. So I mean, yeah, it does really seem suspect, and I just think it just happened to be just coincidental that they just happened to be doing well, and that's just how it happened. And that's
I think there's tons of reasons for this. I think, all right, so San Francisco just lost 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers this past weekend, and like in the way that division is kind of stood up, the Dodgers are kind of they are the team that everyone wants to be right now, right? You mentioned before that San Francisco doesn't have a bat. I don't think this is an overreaction from them. Buster Posey said, "Hey, we need some help offensively." I saw it today. The last Giant player that had 30 home runs was 21 years ago, and that guy's name,
Jeez.
Barry Bonds.
That's
So
crazy.
they've
That's
had
a
a
stat.
hole. They've had a hole in that roster for a long time. And I think from a Red Sox standpoint, yeah, malcontent. But I think this is almost addition by subtraction. I think he was a malcontent, not a good teammate, bad leader of the clubhouse, bad person for these kids to look up to. I think I don't. That doesn't mean that I love the fact that we were put in this position. To me, this goes back, and I hate to bring it back all the way here, but it goes back to Mookie Betts. They should have just put up the fucking money and paid him back in the day. A dude who wanted to be here, a dude who won multiple championships here, a dude who's gone on to win more championships. it really just like they can't get out of their own way, and it truly is an ownership issue. Sam, I don't know if this has been percolating for months and months and months and months, just like you've been saying, but I do know that there is a point where this did start becoming a huge reality, and it's when John Henry had to fly out to Kansas City to talk to Raffy
Yes,
Devers.
sir.
And
Yeah.
I think we all expected that, hey, maybe there'd be some sort of change, attitude, maybe going to play first. There was literally nothing, and I think the wheels of motion started at that point, and I think this weekend all kind of came to a head. I think it had more to do with the Giants and them dropping 2 out of 3 this weekend than it had to do with the Red Sox sweeping the Yankees. And I do think part of it too is even if this had been planned for months and months, you're not going to trade Devers at the beginning of the season when he's ice cold and he's like
That's what
0
I'm
for
saying.
22. So
And he's talking all that shit.
but also, just like with everything else, you don't know if he's going to go and maybe not hit as well in the next month. I'm sure he's going to hit well because he's a professional hitter and that's what he does great. But you got to strike right now. And I think the return is obviously questionable, but I think just taking it into a vacuum without looking at the return, you got to think for the future of the franchise and just getting a cancer out of the clubhouse
The
is got to be a
subtraction.
good thing.
And they can allocate that money, to other places. They use
That's the thing.
What
They
what I've
have
been
to.
seeing now in baseball is signing the younger guys to these deals like we did with Rafaela, like we did with Christian Campbell. I expect the same thing with Mayer, and I expect the same thing with Roman Anthony. Just obviously they're graded higher, so their contracts are going to be a little bit higher. But these guys are going to get money for years to come, and they're gonna end those contracts in the prime of their careers, still able to make a shit ton of money. And that's how the game's going to play. And it looks like we're going on youth, and I'm completely for it. I mean, we all saw the plays Marcelo made. The bats, that's all got to adjust. I mean, Roman Anthony's hitting the bat harder than any major leaguer out there right now. I mean, I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 guys in the Statcast era that's hitting the ball harder than him. That's fucking insane.
No, it's all well and good with the kids coming up. I love it. I'm all great for the future, but like, and I don't think they like threw away the season, but the fact that like who the old Red Sox are completely gone. Like we know this. They've been gone for years now. Like, and you're getting bent over a barrel by San Francisco on when you have to trade your superstar, and you don't have the chips and the cards on the table to say, no, I want to shop him, and I actually would be willing for a team to only take maybe 70% of his salary because you're cheap as fuck in the front office. And it's just like such a debacle. And
Not
I
the
just
front
think
office, the ownership, my friend.
ownership,
It's
whatever.
the ownership.
It's ownership. It's both. I think it's probably a combination of both because they have they're connected, of course. They
The
talk.
nerds.
But
I
I think it just comes down to the ownership and just like not up like John Henry. It's I think it's time to sell. I really
mean,
do.
the thing is that they have their hands in too many pots. I do think with
Gabe, where's he
other
spending all his
teams.
money at?
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
He just signed the other guy. But
Liverpool.
let's sort of set it from a high, I'll sort of wrap up the Devers stuff from a high level and some takeaways from what everybody just said. I'm okay with him getting traded. The timing is insane given how the team's been playing and how they've sort of turned the corner here to get back in the mix. My biggest fear with this is that this just completely puts the team into a tailspin and all the good stuff that they've done. That is Cora going to be able to keep them on the wagon here? I love what Big Poppy said today. He pretty much validated the fact that Devers' ego pretty much got in the way, and they pretty much said, "Fuck you." I really do think that last week when he just let up running to first at Yankee Stadium was just like, this guy isn't taking it seriously at all anymore. He's at shortstop taking grounders and flying in the face of getting his ass over to third or first to actually do something productive while fielding ground balls. Like,
You know why he was taking those ground balls?
I don't give a fuck why he was
To
taking
stay
the ground
loose
balls.
in the box.
Because he's going to the NL.
He can,
No, to
he
stay
can
loose. No. He said that he was taking grounders to stay loose in the box.
That's all.
Not to help the team.
He can stay loose out in San Francisco now, where it's cold all the fucking time. So
You can go to Hippie Tie.
whatever works for him. But that's why he got traded. And he got traded because ownership found a partner that was going to assume 100% of the contract. Make no mistake about that. There's so many issues with the Red Sox, and that's the frustrating part. Why is a player allowed to act like that and get away with it and have this all happen? Why does ownership and management never address these things and are truthful with the fans? In all honesty, they have a press conference here in 3 fucking minutes. We'll have to see what they say at that. But
God.
let's, any takeaways from the baseball side of things? We've talked enough about the trade, but
One final thought.
Fine.
I really think that a Red Sox San Francisco legend needs to take Devers under his wing. And Pablo Sandoval, please
Show him the way.
help
Show
Raffy
him
Devers. Please show him all the best restaurants in San Francisco. That dude loves ice cream. Make sure he eats as much as he wants. I just want to make sure he has a good time in San Francisco and there's no pressure on him. And
Make sure he's happy.
Raffy, just make sure you're happy and sweet trails. We'll
You know
see.
what
We'll
the
see you another time. Our
you know
sweet
what the
prince.
most frustrating part of this is for me is there's no way to like protest ownership or like hit them in the wallet where it hurts is because Fenway's gonna sell out no matter what because it's like the cathedral of ballparks
Cathedral.
everywhere. And it's like no matter how many fans don't want to go to Red Sox games right now to
Someone's
protest
gonna fill that
ownership,
seat.
everyone's going to fill those seats. Tourists,
Those
that's the
Yankee
first thing
fans.
they tell people to do is go to a Fenway, go to a game at Fenway. So it's like,
I
how do you hit back at ownership?
I will say
There's no check and balance.
the Fenway concessions they are going on strike. So that might hit them a little bit in some type of way. Probably not because it's John Henry, but
Good.
good
Fucking
good
cheap
good.
bastards.
Everyone get
Fucking
your sausage
13
outside. Everyone get your
13.50
sausages before you go in the bar.
13.50 for a fucking
I think
vodka
it's
lemonade, my
yeah,
ass.
it's the
Probably
local
more now.
the local
Get your
union there.
sausage
So
here.
good
And
for
then,
them.
and then my boy Vinny's going up and down the stairs, and you're probably not even paying him the right way. Fuck
No,
that.
probably not. Well, your Fenway Frank's going to cost $8
But
now.
I do want to say one last thing on top of everything. The other one good thing to come out of this is we now know whose team this is, and we were talking about it in the text a little bit. You guys were kind of saying Crochet and Bregman might be pissed. No, I think Bregman is looking at this and saying, "This is my fucking team now." Not only that, but it's the fucking Boston Red Sox. And
God willing,
That's all I gotta
Sam.
say.
God
Can only
fucking
hope.
willing.
I
So,
hope you
I
are
mean,
right
You were
because
so
this
positive.
team,
I love it.
because he can also look at this ownership and say you are royally something else.
we'll see. I mean, that's the best part. We talked about how last week there were 100 or so games left. They had a good week. They march on to the West Coast here. Huge 9-game stretch over 10 days, playing quality opponents. So we'll see
Where are they going next weekend?
out west,
San
baby.
Out west.
Where out west?
Fran,
Oh,
Friday
they're going to San
night.
Francisco.
Friday night.
Yes, sir. So
Mark your
Interesting.
calendars.
immediate tune in, sort of must-see TV with Devers in the matchup against the Sox. But let's keep things moving here.
Hit
Let's
him.
let's talk let's talk a little NBA.
Right in the ass.
Game 5 series tied up 2-2 is tonight, so that'll be over after we release the episode. But Big E set up any NBA final thoughts, and then if there's any Celtics nuggets we should dive into.
Yeah, it's tied series right now. It's now basically essentially a best 2 out of 3 with 2 games in Oklahoma City. I
SGA
really do
lock.
think Indiana is getting a little bit disrespected in this game. OKC is a 9.5 game favorite, which this has been a pretty tight series. So to be that big of a favorite at home to me is a little bit crazy. But it's going to be interesting. I really don't have a clue who's going to win the series. I thought that it was going to be OKC by a mile, but Indiana has kind of got out to that 2-1 lead, and OKC kind of clawed back with that big win in Game 4. I still think it's going to be OKC, but I'm not discounting the Pacers. One thing that I do want to talk about, though, because there is a little bit of a Celtics nugget, and I sent this into our group chat earlier this week. During the Game 4 broadcast, they were talking about Aaron Nesmith, and they were talking about Aaron Nesmith specifically, and he talked about that when he was with the Celtics, someone that he worked with every day, each and out, was Joe Mazzulla, when Joe Mazzulla was an assistant. And he said, he really developed his mentality and his tenacity as a defender from his time working with Joe. So I thought that was really like an interesting thing to be talking about the Celtics head coach in the middle of the NBA Finals when the Celtics are not in it. And obviously he is kind of like the big Celtics connection that we have in the finals here right now.
Yeah, great series. I think underrated when it started, but it's delivered from every aspect. Also, a trade here in the that we should talk about in the NBA. Desmond Bane getting sent from the Grizzlies to Orlando for 4 fucking first-round picks. That fucking dickhead KCP, and I think Cole Anthony was in the trade as well.
Anthony,
So
yeah.
I mean, thinking about the Celtics and some of the rumors out there, any takeaways that anyone has in terms of this trade? Gabe looked like you wanted to jump into.
I think this is a great trade for Orlando. Desmond Bane is a great player, and he gives that team exactly what they were missing against the Celtics, someone who can shoot from the outside. They have 2 really good young players in Wagner and in Banchero. Now you have another guy that you can pair with them, and I honestly think this is a team that is going to be reckoned with for the next 5 years in the East. So I see them as a top 4 team. They're a team that you have to be worried about, and they're on the come up. They're on the ascent. From the Memphis side, I think the thing that's interesting about this is, do they think that they can win with Morant and Triple J, or is it something where they're going to blow it up? If they're going to blow it up, what happens with those guys and where do they go? Because that is going to change the landscape of the league. So a lot of dominoes yet to fall, but I don't think this has a huge impact on the Celtics because we're not trading a young guy like that. And also, the one thing I do want to say, yeah, there's a lot of chatter about 4 first-round picks, but if Orlando is the team that I expect them to be going forwards in the future, these picks are not going to amount to being anything higher than like low 20s, with maybe this year's pick being 16 being the best of the bunch. So, I mean, yeah, maybe they're going to be a deep draft, 1 or 2 of those years where Memphis will get something out of it, but for me, they're more about trade bait for another trade than the actual picks themselves.
Yeah, good points,
Yeah.
Biggie. Any takeaways, Gabe? Go ahead.
Big E, I mean, I think it just makes you think how our guys would, or the Celtics would be valued in the trade market coming up. I know hypothetically speaking, I don't think the Celtics are actually going to trade Derek White or Jaylen Brown, but if they were to put those names out on the market, what would they drive in? Like it seems like teams are willing to pay the price for players of that nature, and it just kind of puts a little seed like in your head, like, wow, that like this something really the Celtics could really set themselves up beautifully in the future if they just traded one of those guys. But again, I'm saying hypothetically, I don't want Derek White or Jaylen Brown to be traded. It's just like, holy crap, you're giving up those 4 first-round picks. How much would JB or White get?
If you're Brad Stevens, you have to look at it just to
Oh
see
yeah,
what you can, just to see
listen.
what you can get. Yes.
No, well, I don't think you're going around calling around being like, "Hey, you guys want
I'm
Derek White or
shopping
you want
Dan
Jaylen
Brown. No.
But
No,
it's kind
but
of
if someone's
hey,
calling up,
if
yeah.
someone's calling, and
Well, what
like,
would
you
you
have
give
to,
me
you have to
for
be bold,
him?
you have to be bowled over. And candidly, I think Derek White is going to get you more assets right now than Jaylen Brown due to the contract. Derek White's on a really,
Attractive.
really good contract.
He is.
And he's one of those players who he's so complimentary. He could go on any team and he's going to help them be their third best player, fourth best player, help them, compete for a championship. But I think Derek White, the value he brings to the Celtics is so much. He is like, I think he
He's not
fits so well.
expendable.
But he fits so well next to Tatum. Even if
Yeah.
Tatum's not here next year, and yeah, he'll be 32 when he comes back. That's still like he's still in his basketball terms, like he's still not in on the back. He's on the back nine, but he's just turning the corner. I don't think he's worthwhile to trade at that point.
No, I think White and Brown stay. I do think that you might see Holiday or KP on the move. But as July
Hauser.
1st approaches here, and obviously sort of Desmond Bain getting traded is sort of the first thing. But once the finals wraps up is usually when you start to see a lot of movement happen.
We'll do a big
What-
draft preview
one-
and everything
yeah.
once we get closer.
One thing I wanted to mention is when Tatum went down, all of the GMs in the East, all the contending GMs in the East were licking their chops because clearly they are all going to be trying to make a move come July 1st, like Plotty said, and there's going to be so much movement in the East because people and teams are thinking when the Celtics are down next year, this is our chance to potentially go in and have a year and get some assets and try and go for it. So I think you're going to see a lot of movement in the East
And that's why
coming weeks.
And that's why I think the Celtics are really going to contend next year because everyone's going to be making moves and they're going to be a whole lot of fresh looking new teams. And we're going to have a team that's been playing together for the last 3-4 years, obviously minus Tatum, but still it's a very potent lethal team when they're all on. And, obviously we don't know what we're going to get back. We don't know who we're going to trade yet, but we still have that core there. So,
don't forget too that Giannis could be on the move. And if OKC loses this final, remember, you heard it here first from me, that Giannis could be going to OKC and that could totally upend not just the East, but also the West. That is the
I
rich
don't know.
getting richer.
I kind of want to talk about that because I don't really know how that would work out where you have a guy like SGA and then you have a guy like Jan.
Can we wait till it happens? I mean, God,
Hey,
I'm just saying-
I'm just gonna say we've been ahead of a lot of things. I just gotta say, when it doesn't ever really happen.
Yeah,
let's
it does. Who knows how it would work, Kraz? I didn't know how having KP here would work when it all began, and he's fucking injured all the time.
How is having Devers out west going to work? We don't know. They'll all get to it when it gets to it.
He's going to hit a lot of
balls in that water.
You think
all right, sorry guys, I cross streams. My bad.
You might want to go get yourself a kayak if you're out in San Francisco. Let's just say.
Cove.
Yeah, we're gonna take a kayak right over to the Bruins here down the river and whatnot, and also the finals. Let's start there, Gabe. Just Florida on the precipice of going back to back. Brad Marchand looking like the Brad of old. Take it away. And on Stanley Cup thoughts, and then we'll talk Bruins as well.
Yeah, this has definitely been the final series that I've been focusing on more. I still think this series is going 7. I don't know. I think the Oilers are gonna pull another game out of their ass, but ultimately, I chose the Oilers to take it all, but I don't know. I did not expect the addition of Brad Marchand to really uplift that team like it has. He is playing at a level that I don't think any of us have seen in quite some time. You saw him play that great with Bergeron when he had, players of that caliber on our team, but it's like you can't really like I think about the trade and it's like, damn, like maybe we could have got more for Brad Marchand based off, a first rounder is still great, but you really can't blame Sweeney for getting the return that he did for Brad Marchand at the time just because he was injured and they weren't really sure how that was going to all play out. But Brad Marchand is him in this finals. I mean, the last game, game 5, it was scored right off the face off. Incredible goal, just completely deflates the team too in the Edmonton Oilers. And then he has that beautiful like self pass through a defender, finished his 5-hole through Skinner. I mean, he could end up like being the MVP of the playoffs with the way he's playing, and it's
game
really
1 and 2.
impressive. It's really impressive. And for the Oilers, I mean, they're hanging in there. They have to score to win, unfortunately, because
Where's Connor?
they have goaltender issues. I mean, Stuart Skinner his save percentage is below 900, and with the injury to Zach Hyman, who's a great player, also a fellow tribe member, I think they're really missing his physicality and his offensive skill on that side, and it might end up shooting them in the foot. And I think I'm now feeling like Florida's gonna win consecutive cups here.
Well, Marchand's just a gamer, like you said, and he smells it. And when you get those Hall of Fame players that are on the ice at his, age, and he knows the missed opportunities that he's had at this level and this stage, so he can smell it and he wants it so bad. And it's clear as day. And I hope to God he gets it. One thing that like kind of just not bothers me, but like the national narrative on him, I don't know if you guys have realized, but like it completely changed. Like everyone loves the dude, and it's because he's not on the Bruins. So that's the thing that kind of that grinds my gears a little bit, is that just the fact that he switched teams in like 2 months ago, people like all of a sudden
They
love
don't
the
like the city of
rat and love the
champions.
guy. So
They don't like the city of champions.
kind of
They're
grinds
jealous.
I will say it's kind of like Florida is like the rat team, and like he fits on their team so well.
Fits perfectly.
It's such a shame, because that dude should have never played for another team besides the Bruins. But if he had to go play somewhere else, it had to be on a team full of a bunch of rats.
And not to harp on Brad Marchand, but I would imagine his value has skyrocketed for free agency now, and I don't think the Bruins should even consider touching that.
Not even
moving
sniff
I think
it.
they'd have to overpay to keep him to get him at this point after trading him away. Like if I'm Brad, why you wanted to move me? You wouldn't give me this money before. Why should I take this now? You got to pay extra on top.
He might take a discount to stay in Florida for the mere fact that they're in such a cup window right now. And listen, he's having the performance he has now. If he wins the Conn Smythe and somehow can pull another cup, I mean, that guy goes down as
One of the best.
top 25 player of all time.
Does he go in as a Florida Panther into the Hall of Fame?
Oh God,
no, that'd be awful. But
No.
not
Even
as,
as a
if he wins two cups with them.
No,
Not at
even
this
as a
point.
baseball fan, I don't think he came up with the Bruins.
to go in one of those split jerseys that the moms
Like-
would, that the McCourty's mom.
You mean
would
the
wear.
Tom Brady split jersey that people have that drives me insane?
Fucking
Oh, the
terrible.
Bucks.
Or the Kelsey.
At
Or
least,
Mama Kelsey.
yeah,
And,
at least that is like, okay, you're supporting both your kids, but
Mhm.
otherwise, Gabe, any Bruins notes from you were out last week? So anything you want to touch on there in the upcoming draft, perhaps?
I know you guys touched on Marco Sturm obviously being hired as head coach. I just had wanted to put my 2 cents on it. Such a Bruins move. I'm sure you guys said that as well.
Yep.
It's just like Neely and Sweeney, they need to hire someone who's familiar with the system. They can never stray away from the fucking system. It's like it's completely frustrating. I really think that this 2-year extension that was given to Sweeney is the timeline for Marco Sturm and Neely to do something to turn this team around. If we're going into year 2 and this team is not looking or sniffing the playoffs, I really think some big changes are going to come for the team. But we shall see. I mean, there's moving to the NHL draft, excuse me. That's coming up Friday, June 27th to Saturday, June 28th. So the Bruins are positioned at number 7th overall. Should get a good prospect in that range. Knowing Sweeney and our organization, they're probably going to F it up. But I mean, you got to think positive in the future for this team. And they also have 2 second-rounders, a 3rd rounder, a 4th. They're loaded with picks. So whether they choose to kind of up their prospect pool or they pool their picks together and try to get some NHL ready talent, that's yet to be determined. But I'm a bit excited for the draft to see what goes down.
I'm happy that they have a coach in place because it's part one, and now you can start to sort of build a program around what Marco Sturm's looking for from a roster standpoint. So we'll keep our eyes on the Bruins here as the offseason continues to roll on. But as this episode has rolled on, there's been one moment I've been looking forward to in particular, and it is that time of the week where Big E takes it away.
All right, y'all.
Tells us about
It
the things
is
he doesn't
my
like.
favorite time of the week.
Sam, why don't you go do it? You
Yeah,
do
you
it.
get
Well, can
so-
you do the oh yeah, and then
so
I'll just set
Yeah,
you
yeah.
off with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
Kraz,
Hey, wait, wait.
Now-
Before we do this, this is like
New
Kraz is
segment.
taking the MC duties just a little bit while Plotty was out. He's continuing his trend right now, so take it away and just let me know, and I'll be ready with the oh yeahs and the yaos.
All right. So now it's time for the things that we don't like, the things that make us go, no, get out of here. Florence, stop that, get out of here. And then there's the things that we love, and they make us go, yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Second one got us, baby.
Cakes and pies.
It'll get better. It'll get better as the weeks go on. It'll get better as the weeks go on.
First run, Kraz, pretty good.
On the
Pretty
spot.
good.
On the spot.
Not bad.
I
Not
got an
bad.
oh yeah. I got
I liked it.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give us,
Oh yeah.
give us an oh
baby.
yeah.
It's time. We were talking about in our text, the Capitol Groove, baby. It's we got our tickets in, our wristbands are in. Plotty, myself,
2
and
days,
Dave.
1 day, 2 days, 1 day.
We're just
I'm a
going
one
one
day.
day. Yeah, I mean, what a lineup: Ripe, Steel Pulse, and then Krongben. Like two of my
Yeah.
top 5 bands in one night. It's gonna be a blast. Get yourself over there. Get out to the Capitol Groove over in Hartford. It's gonna be a happening time.
I got an oh yeah. Oh yeah to the fathers. Want to give a
Yeah.
shout out to the fathers
Oh,
for
yeah.
Father's Day. Not
What's
just
up,
our
Marty?
fathers, although we do love our
Ed.
fathers. You know,
Not one
Marty.
father. That's our father.
John.
yeah. not our fathers though, because we can't actually go there and get the frickin' pastrami and corned beef that we want. So that's a
50-50
yeah
is fine.
But just want to give a
Our
shout out
fathers.
to all the dads and all the listeners who are fathers for Father's Day.
So confusing.
Great. Our fathers. Rest in peace. I'd say the Cisco that went in there is a pretty good replacement.
Crazy.
Oh boy. All right.
We're off the rails already.
Restaurant. No, our dads are good.
Yeah, Dave, get in there.
So we have I'm a big fan of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July, which is coming up.
Huge
Hopefully
news.
sunny days ahead. Joey Chestnut is returning the 16-time Nathan's hot dog championship.
That's what they do,
Eating the
dude.
dog.
That's what
Champ.
they do. They like fucking. They'll like take like 3 dogs and they'll shove them
it.
down their mouth and then
They
they'll, like,
gotta dip them in
put
the water,
bread
though.
in the water and
Oh,
The
like,
water
yeah.
is the key.
dude, it's so gross. I don't like watching. I mean, I
Ain't
love
no
it,
ketchup
obviously,
and
but it's just
mustard
like
on those
it's like
dogs.
No.
I don't even want to watch it because it's like I'm gonna go have
Is
hot
it
dogs
even-
later,
is
and
it-
then it, like,
is it-
looks just so gross.
Is it even
Oh.
America and the 4th of July if Joey Chestnut is not there eating hot
No.
dogs at the Nathan's
No.
hot dog eating contest?
Yeah, if he's not
No,
eating
it's not.
82, if he's not eating 82 hot dogs, then we're
Our
not in
long
America.
national nightmare is finally over. Thank God.
Yeah, that's right. Because if we remember, he promoted a different wiener brand last year.
Oh, Nathan's
He got kicked
had,
out of the
they
tournament.
said
There's only
no,
one
no.
wiener, and
They
it's
said you can't
Nathan's.
support that other wiener. It's Nathan's or nothing.
He got kicked off the island.
Yeah, well, Joey Chestnut will be shoving wieners down his
Oh,
throat on
Epstein.
4th of July. Good for him. We'll
I
see
got
if
an oh yeah.
he does it. Go ahead, J Matt.
JJ Spawn in the US Open. He hit a 65-foot birdie, the longest putt in US Open history to win the tournament. He needed a 2-putt, but damn, that dude just hit a long 1-putt to just sink it in incredible fashion. So shout out to him. I think it was was it his first major career? I believe it was. So
Yeah.
nice win. Good shout out. Kudos. Weather was not cooperative throughout that entire tournament.
Yeah.
So crazy, but they pushed through. So shout out to JJ Spawn. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
JJ.
yeah.
That was an incredible putt. I mean, that's a putt that will live in U.S. Open and major history. To win it and needing a 2-putt to win and just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna hit a 65-footer.
And the only golfer to finish under par in the US Open this year, which is pretty incredible.
Shout out Oakmont.
Pretty cool.
Good course. Took care of business.
Yeah,
All right.
to Oakmont.
Yeah,
Oh.
Depends if
It's
you want
supposed to be hard.
you want the course to be a factor or not. I mean, the weather certainly
He wants the one with the little windmills.
I want the one with the clown from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
you can put it right through the
You want to die,
the
clown?
alligator's mouth and it comes out its butt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
speaking of which, so very excited for Happy Gilmore too. I think we all are
Oh,
very
yeah.
excited for that coming
Yeah.
up soon.
Oh yeah, for that. Netflix coming soon. We'll keep the oh yeahs going here, and then we got a universal we got to talk about. So shout out oh yeah, my bad. Jesus, it's been a while. To Gage Woods, pitcher for Arkansas, went
I saw that.
120 pitches
19 Ks.
for 19 strikeout no hitter, third ever in the Men's College World Series in an elimination game. So unbelievable performance, and
Cojones.
Would have been a
perfect.
perfect game, but he hit somebody.
Yes.
That might have been a message.
So great performance.
Clear
from
this
Gage Woods, and
asshole.
19 strikeouts is incredible. Universal here. I think everybody agrees is that fucking fraud, Stephen A, playing solitaire in the middle of the NBA finals. This guy claims himself as the know-it-all of fucking everything, and he's sitting there playing cards. What a fraud.
Bet you he wouldn't be playing cards if the Knicks were in the finals.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
The thing with national sports people now is there's been this narrative, I think, for the last however many years about Boston that, I mean, we've all talked about it. There are times where, you mute the TV and you fucking put music on because you can't even listen to them. So it's, as a Boston fan, I myself have just kind of catered towards our guys on the radio and, you know, whoever our local guys are, whether it's Dave O'Brien, Lou Merlone. I mean, those are the guys that I'm listening to now
Screw the
because
Nationals.
it's terrible.
Agreed.
Yeah. Just
I agree.
just a terrible look too. Like you're working, bro, and you're watching basketball for your job. You have to be on your phone playing a card game in the middle of it. Like, give me a break.
I got a universal. Oh yeah.
All right.
A universal. Oh yeah.
Universal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's bigger
That's
than the feral.
that's being back with all you guys, my squad, my guys, my brothers.
That is
Bring it in,
much
bring it in,
bigger
boys.
than
Yeah,
ethereal.
we're the first time we've been back as a squad in a while, and you're welcome,
It's been a
listeners.
while.
You're very welcome. We're
Oh
back.
wait,
But
those
yeah.
weren't those chocolates. Oops.
So yeah, very very much a universal. Oh yeah, to be back with the brothers
I agree.
Cool.
It's good to be back with the full cast.
Full cast.
and a great app.
Yeah, great to be back.
Great
I
app.
mean, nothing better than being with Brandon Meriweather tonight. So we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
take the pipe
Another,
on
yeah.
home. Yeah, huge thanks to Brandon for jumping on with us. One of the coolest things we've gotten to do, and one of the first athletes the first athlete I believe that's jumped on with us, and we've been working with him for a while. So be sure to check out all that stuff he said at the top of the episode. Red Sox out west this week with 3 series, and then the NBA and NHL finals will have wrapped up by the next time we meet, fellas. So we'll give our final comments on new champions. So
And then we off the draft season.
oh baby, lots of draft season coming up in NBA
And
free
off-season moves for both of these teams, which, this is going to be a fun July just for the fact that there's going to be a lot of rumors and a lot of things going around. So there'll be a lot for us to talk about.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt. Fellas, near, far, wherever you are, we're all back in the greater Boston area, which is great. We're back here. Not too many plans over the summer that should keep us away from each other. Maybe a few, but we'll take a little break as well to celebrate America's birthday. But otherwise, it's always a pleasure to see
And to
you.
blow some shit up.
Yeah.
And
We'll
if
do it-
dove, boys. And if dove.
We'll do it again next week. See ya.
See ya.
Later.
Later.
Later, boys.
Jinx.